Corrupted Youth Dongle Talk.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to our second Dongle Talk.
What a nice day this is.
Yeah, this is where we have a general discussion on a topic chosen by you, the Dongles,
That's right.
as voted on in our Facebook group, Corrupted Youth Dongle Den. So if you aren't a member, join today.
Please.
We'd like to expand our reach to our amazing listeners.
The Corrupted Youth podcast is brought to you
By Poop.
So, what's your favorite monkey? Write in to the Corrupted Youth podcast or to corruptedyouth@gmail.com. Please let us know.
CorruptedYouthPod@gmail.com.
Oh, my bad. I'm about 3 margaritas deep tonight.
So in case you didn't read the title, this Dongle Talk discussion is going to be about Kong movies.
Oh, snap. I'm glad
King Kong.
we're going to make this a month before a new one is released. It's more of a prequel, I guess.
Well, we were waiting for the trailer because
Yeah.
we were going to do it, and then word came out that the trailer was coming out in like the next 2 weeks.
And that was a lie.
So we put it off, and then the trailer finally came out, and then we decided we were going to put this off for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We got them. Vengeance is ours.
that's right.
So why did we pick this? Oh, I guess we just kind of explained that, didn't we?
Yeah, I got voted. People didn't want to hear me complain about ghost shows. Like, oh boy, better avoid that one.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get your mom to do a podcast about ghost shows.
Yeah, don't include me. I will happily play Halo in the basement.
Well, we did record our first episode a while back. We did mention how we are not including you.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I gotta finish. There's like one stupid little thing I gotta do
Oh,
to get it out, at least the first episode.
uh-huh.
I mean, that was a couple months ago. It's probably not fun to listen to for you, because your
No.
mom and I were drunk.
Oh, I bet. I imagine.
Yeah, and there's been a drought of ghost shows too.
Yeah.
There's still plenty to talk about, so keep an eye out for that. 1-2 Ghost Show.
1-2 Ghost Show. You heard it here, folks.
Well, we're not going to be talking about the animated movies because
Oh, I've
there
heard
are
about those.
Yeah, there are 3 of them, and they look dumb.
They are. There was a show, wasn't there?
There is a show too.
Like a cartoon.
But get this, there was a show in the 60s that one of these movies is basically a remake of.
Oh,
And I did not even know that existed
huh.
until I did research for this.
Fascinating. Huh. How intriguing.
Yeah, so we'll get to that when that movie comes
Yeah.
up.
Are we just going to go in order?
Yes, we are.
All right.
We're not giving a complete rundown of all these because there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with a 9th coming.
Yeah. Well, I really like the first one. I'm going to say right off the bat, it's my favorite. It's really good.
So that's King Kong.
Yeah. King Kong from 1937? No, 34.
33.
God!
It was released March 7th, 1933. Directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest Schoensack. Just showed in that sack. Yeah, this is the first one you watched.
Yeah, because...
And I think we've told this story.
But this was like, I
100
think
times.
we told it the first episode, I think. That was
I
kind
think
of
so,
the
yeah.
introduction.
So if you, I'm saying, like, I'm sure we've probably mentioned it,
Yeah.
but by all means.
So, there I was, a spry young child. Not even the age of 7, I think. I don't know. It all blurs together. And we go to the local family video, and I really wanted to watch King Kong. I'm pretty sure we watched like Cinemassacre on it or something like that. Or I'd seen it somewhere like that, and that made me want to watch it. So we went into the family video, and I found it. This movie from the 30s in black and white. There's this little kid eagerly, just excited, waiting to rent it. The lady, not getting paid enough, was like, hey, are you sure this is the right movie? Like, this is, like, old. This is all in black and white. And I was just like, yeah, no, this is exactly what I want. She's like, we have, like, this other one. You know, it was the Peter Jackson one, I think.
Mhm.
Like, oh, look at this. It's all new.
And I told her that this is the real one.
Like, this is the one I want to watch.
Well, you know what? I believe you had seen it previous to that, and you wanted to watch it again.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yes.
Yeah, but I probably just didn't like remember it that well or something.
Probably not. I'm sure it's something that I considered fundamental viewing for you.
Yes.
Yeah, what a fun movie, though.
It is a really good movie, like front to back.
I think what I find fascinating about it, too, because the special effects are excellent for the time.
Yeah.
Nobody had seen anything like that. And they kept everything a secret.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't really know how they did some of the effects in that movie.
Yeah, it's amazing. That stop motion that they did for Kong paved the way for stop motion animation. The whole industry changed because of that movie. I think that movie too was a really big wake-up call to movies that you can make them more fantastical. You can have a T-Rex on screen doing all these crazy things. Not to say that hadn't been done before, but I think this is the first movie to do it to that degree and to such an insane success rate that I think it broke the ceiling open.
It's weird to watch it now because it's a jungle adventure movie.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those are just not the most politically correct these days.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of portraying the natives as savages constantly throughout almost every one of these movies.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, anytime they go to that island, oof, it's not good. But you know what? You have to look at it from it's a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying it's a good thing. We're not saying it should be left out.
Yeah.
But it should just be like if you watch it with your kids, let them know.
Another thing that I find really cool about this movie is that it had its theatrical release. Everyone went bonkers over it. Everyone was like, oh my God. You know, it was like a spectacle. It was like, you have to go see King Kong. It was a craze.
Now, isn't there a famous picture out there of a bunch of people dressed to the nines in suits?
I'm sure, yeah.
Watching King Kong?
Probably, because it was really like a spectacle. Like, you had to see it. It was an event, you know. It was like the eclipse. Everyone just went out and did it. But then, after it was released, you know, there wasn't any way to release it out to the public. There was no taking it home with you at the time.
Yeah.
So all that was left of that movie was people's memories and people's stories. And it wasn't re-released for so long that entire children had grown up hearing the stories of King Kong. You know, this movie that came out all these years ago, and it was just like this legend in a way of just this movie that their parents saw that was super crazy. And then when it eventually re-released, the sales were like out of the water because all these children, you know, and the parents too, were like, oh my God, King Kong is back. We can finally see King Kong again. So
here's the thing though. The sequel, Son of Kong, was released December of the same year.
Yeah. They jumped on that. That reminds me, Godzilla Raids Again, the sequel to Gojira, was released 4 months after Gojira. So I feel like it's that same like smash hit. Oh my God.
Because at the time, people are gonna go see it. And I'd say, I mean, maybe somebody else has a different opinion, but I didn't really know Son of Kong that much.
No.
I didn't really see it
Me neither.
Growing up. I only recently had seen Son of Kong within the last couple of years.
I haven't actually seen it.
Sven Gulli had it on.
Oh, I've seen stuff from it. I haven't seen the full movie though. The animation is still really good in that too.
Pretty sure it's the same people working on the special effects.
I'd imagine, yeah. And Son of Kong is like white. He has like white fur.
Yeah, and he's smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we don't really need to go over the story of King Kong.
Yeah.
Really. It's so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everybody has seen it by now.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen King Kong, are you kidding me?
Go see it.
Go watch King Kong. It's great. It's a good movie.
Yes. It's a must-watch film.
Yeah, for sure.
So Son of Kong, as I just brought up. Premise of that one is, I think the director guy.
Mm-hmm. He goes back to the island.
Yeah, he ends up like conning them into like, hey, I know where some treasure is because he just wanted a lift.
Yeah.
And there's like this whole thing on a boat where there's a mutiny on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Him and like this stowaway actress lady and I think somebody else, maybe the other captain, just end up on a lifeboat and they end up back on Skull Island and go on adventure. It's just more monster stuff.
But it was like an honest sequel.
It was. And the effects are still good in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it was just overshadowed. I don't think it struck that gold. And I'm surprised. I mean, I'm sure like it did really good in like the box office, you know. Like I'm sure it made a lot of money, but
yeah, and King Kong's son dies at the end
yeah,
too.
so it's like, oh well, there goes that.
But then they ended up like they stole some jewel from the natives apparently.
Nice.
And they just boat away and they go, well, we're rich now. Yeah, it gives you just what you want. I mean, it's this loose storyline to fill in the gaps. Mm-hmm. And that's all I got for that one. Really. I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's on HBO Max right now. So maybe you should watch it, Brennan.
Sure.
I'm sure you've got a lot to say about the next one, which is King Kong versus Godzilla from 1962, directed by
Ishiro Honda. That's right. My boy, Ishiro Honda. Love that man. Oh, I could do a whole Dongle talk just on Ishiro Honda. Such a cool guy. But
well, you wrote a big paper on him.
I did write a big paper on Ishiro Honda. Or maybe I think it was 4th grade, I wrote a paper on a director from the 50s in Japan.
It must have blown your teacher's mind living in small town Wisconsin.
Yeah. But no, I like this movie. I rewatched it like a year or two ago, and it's pretty good. It has a good plot. It has a good story. It has good acting. The suitimation looks really good. I think Godzilla looks kind of wonky. Like head on, his head's like a triangle. It was very odd. But it's interesting because it's the first time King Kong's been in color. It's the first time Godzilla was in color too. I'm trying not to talk about Godzilla as much because I know this is King Kong's show.
Well, Godzilla is in this movie.
Yes, he is.
You can't talk about this movie without.
What I think is really fascinating is the fact that King Kong drinks juice and gets really big. Because at the beginning of the movie, he's like normal King Kong size, which is like 30 feet tall, if that. Which, by the way, it's really inconsistent. King Kong size. Well, he fights like an octopus. It's a pretty fun fight. And he drinks juice and he gets all big. And then they're just, hey, we need to use this guy to fight Godzilla. And that's pretty much the plot.
And there was always the
rumor.
Mm-hmm. I heard it when I was a kid.
I heard it too. I believed it too.
Yeah,
because it was in that book. I read the Crestwood House Monster series. You did not just have to Google that for 5 minutes, and I definitely remembered that. On Godzilla, they had the Godzilla one in the library somehow at my school, and I read that thing hundreds of times.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah, I read it over and over. In that, they even had the rumor in there. And the rumor, for all the ill-informed, is that the original version of King Kong versus Godzilla, made by Toho, and if you don't know, Toho is the company that made Godzilla movies. Toho would have had Godzilla come out as the victor, that he would beat King Kong, and Universal was like, wait a minute, we can't have this. The American audience will want to see King Kong win. It's their monster. So then they made 2 separate versions. There's 2 endings to the movie, one where Godzilla wins and the other one where King Kong wins. And then they released them separately. That way both nations could be happy. But that's just not true. There's only one version, and in that version, King Kong wins? He wins.
Questionably.
He wins, but it's kind of like, they just kind of like walk away.
Yeah. Godzilla
does get beat up. But it's only because King Kong is struck by lightning.
Gets supercharged.
It gets supercharged because he's struck by lightning.
I did not like this ending when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think Godzilla would win.
I had the attitude of King Kong is fine. King Kong's
cool. Yeah.
But no way he's beating Godzilla.
Well, it's interesting because the first time that they meet, Godzilla beats Kong. Godzilla's just like standing there, and Kong's like, and then Godzilla just shoots him with atomic breath, and his like fur starts on fire, and he goes, and just starts like running away. Yeah, so King Kong would lose. He only won because he was struck by lightning
and drank juice to
get big juice.
So would you say that King Kong is all roided out in that movie?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, he gets. If they had just taken him from the island and a little 30-foot tall Kong punching at Godzilla, it would just get stepped on. There'd be nothing to it. That one, the natives are actually not portrayed as like evil.
No, but there is blackface in it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a big octopus.
Oh, there's this.
Juice.
I'm not even going to get into the controversy about what somebody had to say about that movie in the last year. Careful what you publish. I'll just say that. Anything more you'd like to say?
It's good. I like it.
It's good. It's fun.
Has a good soundtrack.
It's your first King Kong and a man in a suit.
Yeah, and it made Godzilla's atomic breath blue, and I appreciate that.
That's right. It's not just fire.
Yeah, it's not just fire.
It's atomic fire.
Anybody who says that it's fire, if you walk up to me in real life and you say Godzilla shoots fire, I'm moving on.
Moving on to King Kong Escapes from 1967, also directed by Ishiro Honda. This is the one that was based off the cartoon.
Oh!
It ran for 3 seasons.
What?
I never even heard of this.
I've never heard of it either.
Yeah, apparently it was a joint venture between Japan and the United States.
So strange.
Because it was released in both countries.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's kind of a remake of the cartoon series, which I find just even more fascinating. This one got like mad scientist guy.
Yeah.
Whose name is Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen this one?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if... I remember watching it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, I've seen this movie a couple of times.
And what are they? Element X.
Yeah.
They're trying to dig out of the Arctic or the North Pole or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And so his best idea is, well, let's just make a robot King Kong to dig it out.
I will say, this movie's biggest fault is the plot. The plot is so confusing.
It is ridiculous.
It's so confusing.
Long story short, the radiation makes Mechanicong.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
I like that name.
Yeah, and it looks cool too.
It looks really cool.
It's a fun robot.
Yeah.
But the radiation causes Mechanicong to shut down. So then they're like, let's just get the actual King Kong
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
And then for reasons they fight.
This one's fun because King Kong climbs Tokyo Tower.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's perfect for him. It's a little jungle gym. That's great. But a misconception about this movie, it takes place in its own separate universe. People clump it into the Godzilla continuity.
Oh.
Yeah, it's its own self-contained thing. And King Kong actually isn't even that big in this one. He's like original size. He isn't like 50 meters like he was in Godzilla versus King Kong, or King Kong versus Godzilla.
So it's kind of like a reboot to the original.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Yeah. This movie is...
It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it's super campy. It's so campy. This one, like, you would have to watch big bucket of popcorn and like a bunch of buddies.
Yeah.
You could have some fun watching this movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. And that Mechanicong is...
Mechanicong is cool. Yeah.
Almost like he has a little beanie on top of his head.
Yeah.
He's fun though.
He's very Mechagodzilla. Like it...
Yeah.
You can tell those were like designed like the same people.
It really made me want to see Mechagodzilla versus Mechanicong.
I would like to talk real quick because this is where it would fit into the release of movies. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster was originally going to be King Kong versus the Sea Monster. If you recall in the movie, I don't know if you've seen it. They find Godzilla on an island after like this company starts like doing evil company things to it. They find Godzilla on an island, and then he is struck by lightning when he wakes up. You remember lightning?
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla versus King Kong versus Godzilla, and Godzilla gets like attached to like a human native. So it was straight up gonna be King Kong in that movie. But the problem was that Toho didn't think that King Kong would bring in enough money, so they swapped it out for Godzilla. And they were right, because that was the highest grossing Godzilla movie for a long time. So, yeah, that almost happened. It was very close to being King Kong in that. This is a fun little fact just to sneak in the Dongle talk. Okay, to the 70s one.
King Kong from 1976, directed by John Guillermin.
Never heard of him.
This was a big deal. This was a really big deal. From what I've heard, I was only one.
Yeah, you don't remember.
I don't remember. But I did grow up with this one. This one was shown a lot. And they really just wanted to bring Kong back. That was their plan.
Yeah.
Promotional materials. He's standing on not one, but both of the Twin Towers.
What are those, Dad?
Well, son, I don't need to tell you. You know what those are. Yeah.
I know that and I know what you're talking about too, because whenever I see that, it makes me really uncomfortable. I'm like, aw. Especially at the end of the movie, when there's like chunks of it falling like, oh.
Yeah, this is a combination. What was pseudomation?
Mm-hmm. I know that,
as you call it.
It doesn't look the best now.
No.
It definitely just looks like a dude walking.
Yeah, what I find weird about the suit and stuff is Rick Baker worked on it.
Oh.
And Rick Baker, that was his jam.
Yeah.
He loved King Kong. So I don't know why he wouldn't have been the one to go, hey, you know what? We should really make this like a real gorilla. Because he's done that in later stuff.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's very weird.
Huh.
Unless it was a studio thing where they just wanted him to be like a dude.
Yeah, that could be it. But I feel like puppeteering would probably be best for the time.
Well, I think you could.
And some stop motion too.
You could do a suit. It was at that time you could make a realistic gorilla suit.
I mean, people were faking Bigfoot footage back then.
No, they didn't.
Get those guys.
No, they didn't. You can't, Brennan. The musculature that you see.
Yeah, and that grainy
underneath the fur.
In the grainy.
I want to believe in Bigfoot, but I think we would have stumbled across a couple dead ones by now.
Or some turds.
Well, people claim.
People claim to find turds.
Yeah.
It's probably just their neighbor.
We're going off on a tangent here, but I want to bring up the guy a few years ago. I'd say like 10 years ago, maybe more. I don't know. They claimed he had a body and he put it in his freezer. And I just remember thinking, holy crap, this is the Holy Grail.
Yeah, this is it.
Why would anybody want to fake something like that? Yeah, to get attention and money, because that's what he did.
I also think it's funny that people think that the government is covering it up. What does the government care if Bigfoot's real?
Well, they do care because Bigfoot is an interdimensional being.
Oh, that's right. You believe that too. Okay, back to 70s Kong. Oh.
The mechanical hand issues.
Oh. Yeah, that's good.
And the thing is, I did not know this until I was an adult, but the hand at one point tears off that actress's top.
I've heard of that, yeah. I heard about that.
And yeah, you can see it. You can see her boobie.
Gasp.
You get to see boob.
But it's also the 70s. Like, no one cared.
It happened so quick, though.
Yeah, no one cared. It's like Airplane.
She was mad about that, too.
Oh, I bet.
Made it into the film.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it PG? It was probably PG. It was PG. Yeah.
Probably at the time.
Yeah.
Jaws was PG, I think.
Airplane's PG. This girl jumps out, boobs out for like a second.
Yeah, they were a lot more. They were a lot more cool.
They really did not care back then.
Clash of the Titans.
Yep. I remember watching that
right away, like first 5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
That's a good movie. Oh,
that's fun.
Yeah, that's really fun. I want to rewatch that actually.
I'd love to rewatch it. Maybe we'll talk about it on a Dongle Talk. I don't know if I really want to discuss the entirety of it.
What about the new one?
Well, that's why it would be a good Dongle Talk.
And then we could watch the sequel to the new one.
It's kind of like you're having a great day, and then you step in a dog turd, but then you slip, and then you fall into the turd too.
Face first. Goes up your nose.
I guess we don't have to do it on there. We already covered it. There you have it.
I don't know. I also have not seen this King Kong movie because anytime I'm like, I want to watch a King Kong movie, there's like 4 other movies I'd watch before this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a retelling of the original, just modernized a bit more.
We'll get into that idea later.
Yeah. I think it's fine. Yes, some of the effects aren't the best, but 1976. It's all right.
And it was due for a retelling, you know.
Yeah, and this is where I'm going to get on a little soapbox and talk about remakes and stuff like that. They're fine.
Yeah.
They don't ruin the original ever.
No, they still exist. When somebody remakes a movie, they don't go around torching all the old copies. They don't go around holding it up like it's the New Testament going, this is your new telling of King Kong.
Yeah. You know who got a lot of remakes over the years? William Shakespeare.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Remember the one remember Romeo and Juliet from the 90s?
Yeah, remember how nobody gives a crap about William Shakespeare anymore? Because nobody's ever heard of him. Nobody ever reads those books.
we have to read them in school.
Yeah.
They're boring. I don't like them. Hey, here's my soapbox.
William Shakespeare sucks.
William Shakespeare, look, listen, English teachers. I get it. He is good at writing, but you know what he's better at? He's better at writing plays. You know what you're supposed to do with a play? You're supposed to perform it live. You know, me sitting in my chair reading Romeo's lines or Hamlet's lines, I don't care. You know, if you were to show me a play, yes, that's engaging. You know, imagine this. Imagine you sit down in a classroom and they're like, read the script to Iron Man 2. No, I don't want to read the script to Iron Man 2. That's boring. I want to watch the movie. I want to watch the funny Russian man with the bird.
You bring up a very valid argument there, Brennan.
Thank you. Back to King Kong.
also, I mean, let's give one quick little shout out to William Shakespeare for just love and poop humor.
And he invented the word swag.
There you have it.
Pretty cool guy.
Moving on. Well, do you have anything else to say
about 70s Kong? Too bad 9/11 happened. Makes this movie really awkward now.
Fair enough.
Also, too bad 9/11 happened for many other reasons I'd like to clarify. I'm really sad it happened, not just because of King Kong.
Valid. Yet again. King Kong Lives from 1986. I know you have not seen this one.
No.
Ooh, I was excited for this one when I was a kid.
Was it 86?
Yeah.
It's a long time after the original.
It's a long time for a sequel because this is a sequel to 1976's King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, does this movie stink.
I've seen stuff. I think all I've seen of it is the Cinemassacre Monster Madness on it.
All the effects, way worse. Way just more of a guy in a suit. And let me explain the plot of this one to you.
Okay.
So, because it's so dumb. I mean, I guess maybe it could have been awesome if it had been done right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the same Kong from 76.
Okay.
He managed to survive.
Somehow
managed to survive, but he's in a coma for 10 years.
Okay.
And they realize he needs a new heart.
Uh-huh.
So they build an artificial heart that's going to be run by a computer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're going to put it in him, but he needs a blood transfusion.
I see.
So they end up finding a lady Kong.
Oh.
And then bringing her there to perform the transfusion. And then things happen. Military doesn't like Kong.
Of course not.
Lady Kong pregnant.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know what the gestation time for giant gorillas are.
Yeah.
But, anyway. So, yes. King Kong dies at the end of this one.
How?
I don't know. They just
probably shoot him.
Kill him or he falls. I don't remember.
He's literally just a monkey. You can just shoot him.
Yeah, and then Lady Kong and Baby Kong get to go live in peace.
Loneliness. Their species is still doomed. At least with two of them, it's like, oh, they can prosper. No.
Without it getting weird.
Yeah.
Then you end up with mutant gorillas.
No.
We don't want that. I saw that episode of the X-Files. Just wheeling Ma under the bed.
I've seen that one too. It's a good episode.
That one was banned.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I honestly, I don't know where I'm at mentally, but I was like, hey, I don't see anything wrong with this episode. It's pretty good.
And I remember you showing that to me. God, how old was I? I think I was like young. You put your hand on my shoulder and you said, "Now, son, this episode was banned." And I'm pretty sure it starts off with them like burying a fetus in a field or something. Like there's a miscarriage like right off the bat.
It was when I was introducing you to the X-Files, but I just wanted to skip to the episodes that were super fun.
I've only seen like 4 episodes, but I guess that
I thought you watched a bunch.
Not really.
Oh.
This is why we're called corrupted youth.
Sometimes you jump your toddler to the banned episode of the X-Files.
You know what? And I think it didn't have any negative effects on me.
Well, that's good.
I think.
That covers that one. King Kong Lives.
Yeah.
Check it out if you want, gang.
lives and then he dies right at the end.
Oh man, King Kong 2005.
Oh,
Peter Jackson.
Oh wait, pause. In 1990, like in around 1991, between 1991 and 1994, Toho was considering remaking King Kong vs. Godzilla, set in the Heisei timeline. If you don't know what the Heisei timeline is, maybe just listen to more of our episodes. And so they were going to make a remake.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been perfect for, because those Heisei movies popped off. Almost all of them are good.
Yeah.
And they were also thinking about making a sequel with Mechanicong in it, and Mechanicong was set to fight Mechagodzilla. It almost happened.
Oh man, I wish it had happened.
I wish it had happened too.
Great.
It would have been awesome. Yeah.
Oh.
Too bad. And also, there have been many failed attempts at getting another King Kong vs. Godzilla. I mean, obviously, one has succeeded.
I can't imagine it's the easiest thing to do.
No, and also, it's mostly Toho, because they were also going to make a Gamera vs. Godzilla. That was almost going to happen. But then Toho's like, no.
Toho, please don't ruin any more fun.
Yeah.
Go with it. Have fun.
Yeah.
We'll watch them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Peter Jackson time. 2 hours on a boat.
I get he wanted to remake this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the effort is great.
Mm.
But man, somebody really just needed to, I don't know, hack the story down a little bit or something.
I will say,
it's a slog. I don't enjoy it.
I thoroughly enjoy this movie. I think we're gonna have differing opinions here, but I really like this movie. Okay, think about it this way too. Your King Kong from the 70s is my King Kong. I don't remember it coming out. It was a big deal.
You were 2.
I was 2. You were 1. See? Parallels.
Okay.
It was an update using all the modern technology. I will say, King Kong, I think, looks really good, too. For 2005, I think he looks good.
I think the effects tend to lean towards the good side.
Some of it isn't good.
Some of it is
pretty bad.
And that's another beef I have with it, other than it just kind of is a slog, is that, holy man, if you're going to do something this big and just have certain effect shots fail, and they don't even match the rest of the film, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm okay with some shoddy effects in movies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we did that Alien 3000 movie.
That was funny. That was good, though.
But yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I do really like about it, I love that it's a period piece.
I do appreciate that a lot.
Amazing. And he did a really good job bringing that time period. It wasn't very loose. It was very strict. And is also a better adaptation of the story of the book version of King Kong, because when they were making the original, they also had a book made for it. So, and it was kind of made congruently. The book is more of the original, actually, than the movie it really is. And the Peter Jackson one brings more elements in. The natives are scary in this one, too.
Yeah, they made them really frightening. This movie is very frightening.
Yes.
There's lots of
the
giant leggy boys and stuff.
The bug fight in that weird
crevasse or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. But
yeah.
That is ravine, I guess.
It's so long.
Yeah.
So dull.
If this was like a part 1 and 2, I think that would be really cool.
I don't know what they could have done other than just trim it down, trim that story down some.
Yeah, there were some things you could have.
It was a little too ambitious. And I'll say this, as Peter Jackson as a whole, they just kind of let him do whatever he wants.
For better, for worse, for sure.
And I'm going to say it's usually to a detriment.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I personally just really like this movie. And I'd also like to bring up another thing with this movie. The game on Xbox. Oh my god. The game is so good. Because Peter Jackson really, really pushed for the game to be good. Because you know how usually they make a game from a movie and it's just bad? It's just
They usually are,
like Top Gun. Like everyone remembers Top Gun. Top Gun is not good.
I've loved that game.
Well, corrupted youth now.
To anybody who goes, it was too hard to land the plane. Because he should have played harder.
Well, and also, maybe you should actually play the game and not just watch the Angry Video Game Nerd episode on it. His character is to get mad at the little things in games. It's not that hard.
Refueling, best part of that game. I loved it.
Anyway, Yeah, the game's really good. There's no HUD. No HUD. You don't even know how many bullets is in your magazine. And it's very dynamic. And the voice acting is really good because they got the guys. Like, Jack Black does the voice for his character in this. It's a very good game. Also, there's an alternate ending where King Kong survives and they just bring him back to the island.
That's a responsible thing to do.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, we're just going to return him.
The hubris of man.
Yeah.
Thinking we're so much better than the animal world.
Yeah.
Always trying to fight nature.
Yeah, but I really like the 2005 King Kong. It's a good retelling.
I just cannot bring myself to watch it anymore.
I'd give it a rewatch. Put it on during work. And then when you wake up and it's still on, you can just pick up right where
Moving on, Kong Skull Island. I didn't put what year that's from.
It was 2016.
Oh, was it 2016? Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I'm gonna look it up.
Godzilla, the legendary Godzilla came out in 2014. 2017. 17. Okay. I like this movie a lot.
I love this movie.
I love this movie. This movie is really good. What I like most about it is that it's not a classic Kong story. You didn't have to retell it.
Nope.
You didn't have to, you didn't have to have him climb the Empire State Building and get shot. He barely even falls in love with a girl.
Also a period piece.
Also, yeah, 70s? Are you kidding me? 73. So amazing. Right off the heels of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, Vietnam War is winding down.
Mm-hmm. It deals with like a lot of like really interesting themes. Like of war and stuff like that. The cinematography in this movie, so good. The comedy in this movie, so good. The cast in this movie, John Goodman, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson's okay in this. You got John C. Reilly. What's his name? British dude. Blimey, there's a big monkey. He's running about. He's causing big trouble.
I'm just gonna wait for you to remember his name.
I'm never gonna remember his name. Blimey, it's a monkey. It's a big monkey jumping about. He's gonna step on us.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston? What is Tom Hiddleston even in? Did he play Loki?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like Loki.
You don't have to like Loki.
I know I don't have to like
Tom Hiddleston.
I know, but like that's like the only thing I've really seen.
He's really good in this movie.
He is really good. Okay. And Tom Hiddleston also in this movie. Great cast.
Oh, it's a totally great cast.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody brings it. This movie knows what it is.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
It is just, you're on a romp, you're having a fun, you're getting exactly what you want out of it.
Yeah. I really recommend you watch the honest trailers for this movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so good because I could do a whole episode about how much I hate CinemaSins and their series Everything Wrong With on YouTube. But they made one on this movie, on Kong Skull Island. And it's a total travesty. I hate CinemaSins. They're not good at what they do.
I tried watching a new one recently because I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's just see what they're up to. Unwatchable.
It's terrible.
Just awful. I can't even believe I ever even liked it at one point.
I used to like it too. Yeah, I can't believe I did. So anyway, Honest Trailers, another YouTube series, did their video on Skull Island, and they actually got the director.
Jordan Vogt Roberts.
Amazing beard. The man grows a great beard. And they had him do a reaction to Everything Wrong With, and he like picked apart all the arguments and like talked about like when they started like nitpicking like physics and stuff like that, his air of just like, it's just a big monkey, like
yeah,
this movie is just it
is not meant to be taken seriously.
No, it's just fun. You want to see a big monkey punch things? Yeah. There's cool monsters, there's cool creatures, there's a...
Skull crawlers are rad.
Cannibal Holocaust call out. You don't see that all the time.
Like you've seen Cannibal Holocaust.
Okay. I don't want to see a turtle get stoned to death.
No, I know what you mean though. It is in there. It's a fun piece of trivia.
Yeah. This movie, just really solid.
Best natives.
Yeah. They're super cool.
I think what I like about them is that they're their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make it off of any type of weird stereotype or anything.
Yeah.
They just made them interesting, new tribe of people.
Yeah, and they had like telepathy.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. And one of them even has the Mothra symbol on their forehead. So it's a weird connection there too. Nice fun little Easter egg.
They were definitely pushing for the MonsterVerse in this one. And it's a great way to kick it off.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, this movie is really fun. And I love the dynamic between, and I wish they had done more with it with John C. Reilly and the Japanese fighter pilot, how they ended up becoming like really good friends on the island, like learning to survive together.
Oh, remember when we watched this? We were both thinking they better not kill John C. Reilly's character.
No, we were so scared. We were like, they better not kill John C. Reilly. They better not kill him. They better not kill him.
That was not the best, but it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Is spoilers at the end. He's just back at home, living his dream of watching baseball and eating a hot dog and drinking a beer.
Yeah, because, well, for anyone who doesn't know, his plane was shot down in World War II, and he landed on the island, and he survived there until the 70s. So he just had all that time. And he crashed along with the Japanese fighter pilot that shot him down, and they formed such a fun bond on that island.
And he learned how to use a katana.
Yeah, it's so cool. Oh, it's so rad. Yeah, and the entire time he's like, I just want to drink a beer, and eat a hot dog. And he goes home, he hugs his son, who he hasn't seen, and he just has that beer.
Normally in a situation like that, they would just
kill him off.
They would just either kill him off, or his wife would be married to somebody else.
Yeah, and it would be like, oh, it's so sad. This guy just can't take a break. No, not here. Oh,
it's wonderful.
Subverted your expectations in such a good way.
What a happy ending.
Yeah, John Goodman gets eaten. It's funny.
Oh, there's the dead meat guy. I like dead meat guy.
It was so obvious. Like, they definitely played into that
Anybody
trope.
who just starts pulling out a picture of their kid and talking about him all the time.
Yeah.
Dead meat.
Writing letters to his kid. Dear Billy.
On this island, crazy monsters. Miss you much. Love, Dad.
Yeah.
I feel we have a lot to say about this one because was this a drive time special?
No, that was before that. I think we just made an episode and never released it.
Or we never actually recorded it.
We recorded it.
Remember.
We recorded it. I remember recording it, but it just wasn't good. It was like very early.
Oh.
Yeah, because think back. We've been around for 4 years and now it's 2017.
I know. It all becomes a blur now.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I think about movies that we did. And I go, oh, why did we do that one?
Yeah.
There's so many movies I want to cover. What if we don't make it? Do we do this forever?
Yeah.
You're going to be 18.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a youth anymore.
Well, knowing...
Are you going to call in from college?
I could do that. Or I'm just going to go to Madison so I could just drive. And I'm also probably going to live here for a year because I'm a little hermit. It's because I like to make good financial decisions.
Well, hopefully you're at school and work all the time so I can live my dream of walking around in just my underwear.
Okay. Or I could just walk in blindfolded every day.
It's like I told your sisters when everybody finally moves out, I'm not going to wear any clothes. That way somebody has to call before they come over every time. No surprise visits.
But what happens if like you don't want to like turn around too fast and smack something on like a countertop? That does not sound like a fun time.
Oh, I'm ripping a sack. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna get you in a corner. This is such a chaotic dongle talk.
Anything else?
I just think that Godzilla would beat King Kong.
Yeah, because that's our next thing. What we expect from Godzilla vs. Kong, directed by
Adam Wingard.
I have, because this is back when I initially planned on doing this episode. My notes say 2021, if we live that long.
Can't blame you.
Well, we made it.
Yeah, we did.
We made it.
Now we just gotta hold out for another month.
We'll make it.
Yeah. What I expect. Mechagodzilla is gonna be in it, and it's gonna look kind of stupid.
Yep.
Godzilla and Kong will fight.
Yep.
It's going to be very fun.
Yep.
It's going to be great action.
The
story is going to be okay.
You know it.
I don't think it's going to be like super good, but I don't think it's going to be bad.
I'm with you.
And I think Kong will win because people like underdogs.
True. I think that it will be some type of draw. It will definitely fall into the trope of the verses.
They team up. They team against Mechagodzilla at the end.
Yeah. Because I got a feeling King Ghidorah's brain's going to be in that.
Yeah. And or Godzilla skeleton. Or a Godzilla skeleton.
Which would be cool.
It would be pretty cool.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, me too.
I just hope they get weird with it. The trailer looks amazing.
Oh, it looks so good.
It visually looks more in the lines of Skull Island.
A lot more color.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd even say that. I'd say that King of the Monsters had a lot of color.
It did, but it would just kind of like go a little more monochromatic.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think in the nighttime scenes it really did.
Yeah. And for anybody who complains about, there's so much dust and smoke, you can't see the monsters.
That's the point. Yeah. It builds atmosphere.
they're in a destroyed city.
You can fill in the blanks, buddy. It's called a little imagination. Huh?
Depth.
Yeah. But yeah, I think all I hope is that they state in the movie, or even show, that'd be better, that Godzilla would totally beat Kong in a fight. Like, just destroy him. But the only reason Kong is going to end up winning is because of help. As long as they do that, I am totally fine with Kong winning.
No, I don't know if it's our current situation in the world with everybody staying at home, but man, people seem really pumped about this movie.
Oh, yeah. The fact that, like, the group chat with all my friends were talking about Godzilla and I didn't start the conversation? What? That's pretty wacky. It's like, it has become like a thing on the internet. Like, what side are you on? And there's memes for both sides that are going around, like actually good meme pages. It's so fascinating. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. And the best part is we can watch it at home.
Yeah, that's right. We got HBO Max.
I don't have to deal with mouthy teenagers, people on their phones.
Nerdy guy, grumpy at everything. They stand on the aircraft carrier and you're like...
We sat next to that guy.
Yeah, we did.
In a movie. It was, man, was that entertaining.
That was really fun. What movie was that?
It was an Avengers movie, I think.
Oh, I just remember like the trailers were playing before the movie, and like a shark jumps out of the water or something. Like, it's just really something simple, and that's when it started. He just went, the shark just jumping out of water. Everything just has to be like the comics to him. Well, King Kong's a cool monster.
We like him.
He's fun. He's a big monkey boy.
We just like Godzilla more.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. We wish him the best.
King Kong is better for engaging storytelling with a cool island adventure and a love interest.
'Twas beauty that killed the beast.
No, buddy. It was the many bullet holes and the hundreds of stories that ape fell and landed on concrete. That it was the fall. Beauty did not kill that beast. I heard its heart. You literally played the audio of its heart just stop beating.
Well, Brennan.
Yes.
That was a great Dongle talk.
That was a pretty good Dongle talk, I'd say so.
Yeah, I feel very refreshed.
I feel as if a new gateway in my body's been opened, and I can feel a new flow of energy through me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Oh, no, that's my butt. I farted.
Oh, I'm gassy as well, I suppose.
Interesting. It'll be like a sauna of farts in this small Dongle den.
Oh, it definitely will. We both ate the same dinner, so...
Oh, that is true, yes.
Yeah. Well, I also have to say that if you'd like to reach out to us...
Please.
Do you have a favorite Kong movie? Why don't you email us?
Oh, should we say our favorite Kong movie? That'd be good. It's the original, isn't it?
It's always the original.
Okay, yeah, thought so.
But yeah, reach out to us. Write us an email at corruptedyouthpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
I'd love to.
Join us in the Dongle Den on Facebook. It's the only reason Facebook has a use anymore.
Yep. It only breeds hate and dongles.
Be on the side of dongles, not on the side of hate.
Exactly. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. I kiss a photo of you every night. I'm sorry, Mark. Sometimes I get you mistaken, and I kiss a picture of Jesse Eisenberg instead. He just did such a good job playing you in that movie with Anakin Skywalker.
Be sure to get some cool guy swag at our TeePublic store. You can find a link in the notes.
All the money goes straight to us, and none of it goes to children.
That's right, because you know what? To heck with those kids.
Exactly.
They're terrible.
Yep. They play Fortnite. What do they know?
Exactly. The worst. A special thank you to our listeners, the Dongles, and your continued support.
We could do this without you, but...
We'd rather have you along. Yeah. It's such a fantastic journey we're going on. And we also couldn't achieve this without the friendship and support of our fellow podcasters.
Hello, Court. How was your day?
So with that, hang in there, Dongles.
Hang in there. I love poop.
Who doesn't love poop?
Who doesn't love poop?
I actually don't love poop.
Speak for yourself. Listen to this guy over here. An avid poop denier?